Navina Divedi. I am from Jaipur National University, Department of Social Work. And today I am going to discuss with you about the social work practice with individual. And in another word, you can say this is the social case work. And in this concern, I will talk about the meaning of the social work with individual, history of the social work with individual, and I'm also going to discuss the various issues and process of social group work practice. Now, I'm going to discuss about the how to work with individual and work with individual and generalist approaches. A social work with individual is the one of the main parts of the generalist approach of social work practice. Main focus is to help individual help themselves. Means ki we are helping the people in this way so that people can help themselves. And traditional method are the frequently combined in the practice where the workers many work basically with individual and family and set goals. The may also include the group and community. Means ki when they are working with a family, so they have to work with their family and their nearby environment too. Now, I will define the social case work. First, I would like to explain the social case work definitions. Social case work definition is case work is the method. This is called the method by which we are helping the people solve their problem. It is the individualized, scientific, and artistic. We can say that the social case work is a science as well as the arts too. It's help the individual with personal and as well as the external and environmental matter. Means ki most of the time in social case work, people are helping the people in a individually level, and also they are working with environment where that person is living. It is the method of helping through the relationship that taps the personal and other resources for coping with the problem. Interviewing and assessment are the major role of social case worker. We can say it is the psycho and social process when we are working with any individual. Dear student, now I will going to discuss about the history of social case work. When we are talking about the history of social work, we can divide this history in 2 or 3 parts. First is stereotype making broad generalization about the individual and the situation. Is the antithesis of social casework. The workhouse taste and the less eligibility clauses of the infamous English poor law are the based on the native and unfounded general assumptions, namely that all poor are poor because they are the ignorance. They have a not feeling of do any work. They are willful refusal of the work and shiftlessness and depravity. Means ki they have any problem. They have various kind of problem. Due to that, they cannot working anywhere. So in history of social work, many scientists and many people they try to they support the people in this way so that people can come from their problem. And the association for improving the conditions of the poor approaches the problem of poverty individually. This history in 1843 in all the country like in abroad and in India, many association they improve the conditions of the people. They organize many seminar, they organize many, and they also work in a community level, and they also work with individual to solve their problem, and to bring all the people from uh, poverty, and individually they help the people to come out from the various problem. The charity organization also help that time. They gave the additional impetus to individualization and casework. This is occurs in 1877, and after that, pro-occupation with social conditions external to the individual was characteristics of social work during the earlier part of the 20th century. In 20th century, many approaches come out, many theories come out, and all the theories, they like humanistic theory, feministic theory, system theory, through the help of various this kind of theory, try to help the people and bring them come out from various kind of problem. The thinking was that if the environment could not change, the individual should be removed from the environment, even if it means separating family. Means ki earlier this was the people thinking ki the people living in any area surrounding environment cannot change anytime. So you have to change the people. This kind of thinking people have. And now, student, I will try to talk about I'm talking about the trend in the casework. In 1910, the introduction of psychoanalytics theory and the depth psychology become the focus on casework. Individual therapy come into its own. Emotions, attitudes, repressed conflict, and the struggle within the unconscious become an integral part of social casework, understanding, and the method. Means ki when we are working with any kind of people individually, so we have to control their emotions, their attitudes, or to study their this kind of thing. Then we can work with the people, any people. All the people, they have many conflict. Their attitude, their personality, their unconscious mind has many kind of problem. So for any social worker, it is very essential to understand the people, and the method by which we can bring the person out from their problem. Trend in the social work in another point is the social and economic needs of the Greater Depression refocused sociological and reality consideration for social work and compelled action on the part of the federal government. Means ki government realize कि without economic and social development, we cannot bring people out of their depression. This is very essential for all the people. The depression resulted in the healthy turn around from the emphasis upon the psychological consciousness to the renewed study of the economics, budget, and environment factors. Means ki government decided to study all the factors which is influencing the person, like their economic status, their budget, their livelihood, their environment, and their family related factors. So all the factors are very essential to understand the trends of the casework. There has also renewed interested in the family dynamics and interaction of the family members, because all the people, they are direct associated with the family. To understand their family condition, family situation, it is also very much essential. The problem solving method proposed by the Helen Perlman is most widely used in the social work today. The Helen Perlman, he provided the problem solving method, and Even in the 21st century, we are using the same method uh, to solve the problem of the people. Today, practitioner must be trained in the variety of discipline in order to effective view the client and decide how to intervene effectively. This is very essential for every practitioner to intervene effectively with the persons and with the client who come in to take your support. So this is very much essential. Now, student, I will talk about the practice framework of the social work. The purpose of behind this practice framework to prevent the eliminate this condition which contribute to the breakdown of the family relationship between the individual and their family and others associate and environment. Means ki the condition which is breaking the relationship between the individual family, individual any organization, individual any association, and between the environment and individual. So it is very essential to understand the this kind of environment. Help people to identify and resolve the problem in their relationship or to minimize the negative effect, because all the those who come in tension, they have negative attitudes. Most of the negative things they affect their any personality of the any people. So it is very essential to understand the negative behavior of the people. The third one is to strengthen the maximum potential in the individual, group and community, because everyone have some potential. Every community have their own potential. Every group have their potential. Maybe any groups, SAGs group, children group, handicap group. So they have their own potential. Like you can take the example of mentally retarded person, because the severe mentally retarded children, they can learn many things, but they can learn all the things. So we have to understand the every person's strength and potential. This is very essential for any social worker. And another practice framework of social work is the social work. When we are using this, so we have also understand the social work values. Now I can say ki what is the value. We can understand the value of social work by using them. We are supporting the person. Without any values, we cannot support the person. So we have to remember some values of social work. First is the inherent worth and importance of the individual and the interdependence between the individual and society. Second one, emphasize is the place on the importance of respect to the dignity of the individual and on their ability to make important decisions. Third one is self-determination is the basic rights of any individual. Means ki first inherent worth, we have to understand ki what are the inherent worths, which is people is learning from their personality and from their family and from their environment. So we have to understand inherent worth of the any people, because this is very essential for the all the individual. And second one is what I discussed, the dignity of the individual. Every person have their dignity, and in our fundamental rights, it is say कि you have to maintain the dignity of the person. Although you are manager, although you are the head of the any organization, but you have this is your rights. कि you have to maintain others person right too. You did not always criticize him or always taking the उसकी मिस्टेक निकालते रहो, उसके बारे में उसकी हमेशा गलतियां ही निकालते रहो. तो दिस इज नॉट राइट वे. हमको उसकी डिग्निटी को मेंटेन करना पड़ेगा, बिकॉज एवरी पर्सन हैव देयर ओन डिग्निटी. एटलीस्ट इवन आफ्टर वेरी स्मॉल चिल्ड्रन हैव देयर ओन आइडेंटिटी. आप उसको 2 बार 4 बार डांटो वो गुस्सा हो जाएगा. तो means ki every person have their dignity, and not every person can't be a expert in every subject. So they have a certain limited ability. So you have to maintain the ability of the people and also maintain the dignity of the people. This is very much essential for you social worker. And self determination also basic rights of the any individual. You have to maintain that, because every person have that own self determination. So you have to provide them this kind of opportunity so that he can sustain on her self determination. Now I will talk a few more values. Like birth value places the individual in the position of eminence. They are above objectives and institutions worth caring, because they are in an individual. Means ki no individual can live alone. If every person, every individual have their own objective, own goal, and to fulfill that goal, he or she has to interact with various other people, various other group, and other institutions. For example, if you are ill, you are not well, so you have to take the facilities of the institutions. If you are not literate, you want to learn anything, so you have to take the support of the educational institutions. And no individual can live alone. He has some goal, and to fulfill that goal, they are depending on the various kind of groups and various kind of institutions. So we have to understand this. And other value include respect, dignity, and opportunities expressed individually. Means ki every person want a respect, every person want a dignity, and every person want opportunity. If you want to work with the people, so you also have to give the various opportunity to that person. Without that, he cannot work. So you have to also provide the various kind of opportunity, which is very essential to fulfill that task. So this is also very much essential. And the value of the birth I already told you. And individual have the ability to guide the action and potential for determining the goal and their achievement. Sometimes people, they are not too much information, so they cannot fulfill all the work. So sometime if he don't know anything, so that time social worker have to provide him the information as per their potential, not beyond the potential. And next one is ununiqueness value. Means ki every person are different with another person. No two person are the similar. So you have to understand this. अगर एक गांव में काम कर रहा है तो वो अलग टाइप का उसका एटीट्यूड्स होगा, अलग टाइप का बिहेवियर होगा. एंड सम पर्सन लिविंग इन अर्बन एरिया, तो दे हैव डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ एटीट्यूड्स एंड बिहेवियर. तो वी हैव टू work on the uniqueness. Like uniqueness values means all the individual have the uniqueness, and as per their uniqueness and as per their potential, we have to provide them the any kind of suggestions. And when we are giving this kind of suggestions, to that people is accepting this. Otherwise, he will not accept your any suggestions. And next one is the strength in the role relationship in viewing the coming from difference. Means ki every person have the different kind of strength. And because he is coming from different kind of institutions and different kind of environment. Some are coming from village area, so there is no English medium school. So you cannot teach them in English medium. And some person, they are coming from English medium school, so that time you can, if you are teaching them English medium, so he will accept your study. So you have to understand the people situation and from where that people is coming. If you will understand that, so you can do many things, and you can solve their problem, and he will accept you all the suggestions. Otherwise, whatever you blah 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 you are saying to that people, he will not going to accept you. The value postulate that self determinations, like in self determination value we can means ki client will decide whatever or not to engage in the casework process. Like sometime you are providing the opportunity to client to decide the any kind of decision. uh, to he has to in the casework process you have to make this kind of environment to engage the client with your decisions and take his or her decision to fulfill their goal. Self determination is the affirmed, explicited, and implemented at the beginning, in the middle, and end of the process. So this is always using in the beginning time when the client come to you to for your support, and sometime middle time you have to use these techniques, and sometime end of the process, because all the client they are coming to you along with their problem, so you have to understand that problem, and involve the client to take the any kind of decisions. And next one is the in position the remove free choice and self determination may damage the relationship, we can the client problem solving resolve the capacity. And sometimes if you are and you will enhance the capacity of the person, he himself or herself resolve their problem, no need of you. You have to only say them ki what are the 1 2 3 criteria to resolve the problem. And some criteria you can because if there is problem, solution is also there. And you cannot find the sometime you have to find solution outside within the your framework. And but always problem is there where the problem solution is there where the problem. So you have the first listen the people very ध्यान में रखकर उसको सुनना, अटेंशन में रखकर सुनना होगा. Then you can reach the solution of that problem. Next one is the now I will talk about the what are the sanctions of the social work. Like when we are working with the any individual, any family in the under of auspices of the various government and private agency like NGO, like foster home, where we are doing social casework. We are making counseling with a hospital in along with the HIV/AIDS parents. And now we can say कि COVID person who infected by the COVID-19, and sometime cancer person, the person who has a long term any kind of disease, so he become depressed. So that time social worker role is there, and he's doing he's fulfilling their role through various agency. Maybe that agency any NGO, non-governmental organization, maybe foster home, maybe Samaj Suraksha Kendra, maybe counseling center, any kind of counseling center, maybe SOS Children Village of India, maybe foster homes in India. And there are a lot of this kind of homes, and maybe along with the mental person, maybe along with the the person who are the person in school also he can do this kind of things, solve the problem of the student who are not very much they are not as normal children, and they are very big slow learner. So along with you are also conduct the social casework. And many government agencies are intended to express the will of the people, like FCC, health department, schools, child guidance clinic, and many family suraksha kendra, SSG, Swayam Sahayata Samuh, and the various NGO who are running different kind of program, like livelihood program, education related program, and they are also working for the weaker section, like women, like children, like others people. So these are the major sections of the social casework. Now we have should be some knowledge about the theories and practices and the method of social casework. The method under weaving for casework is derived basically from the profession of social work and from the casework practice. Means ki when we are talking about the social work, so we have to remember the casework, group work, community work, social action. These are the practice area where we are working with any individual. We can work in any person individually, sometime along with the group. Maybe in any group, one person is a slow learner. So you have to make a special emphasis on that person and solve the problem of the that person. तो ही फिर वो स्ट्रीम लाइन में और पर्सन के साथ आएगा. लाइक यू कैन टेक द एग्जांपल ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया कि government make the reservation policy for the many ST, SC and OBC people. This is that due to the because they are very slow in development. They have no literacy, they have no education, they are very poor. So first they have to bring उसकी लाइन थोड़ी आगे लानी पड़ेगी, तभी हम उसको आम लोगों के साथ मर्ज कर पाएंगे. So this is the basic knowledge of the social work, and also various kind of research. They contributed to the knowledge base and appear the growing sophistication and the importance. So research is always contributing the various kind of new things, and you can add many kind of new things in your field, social work methods, social work approaches, and social work theories. After conducting the various kind of research, and the profession continue to recognize the contributions from the behavioral, social, and natural sciences. Because without this, without behavioral, without social, and without natural science, you cannot make yourself a professional social worker. Any professional social worker have the knowledge of the behavior of the people, and he or she should know about the society whole perspective. Ki what is the society, how society is working, how any people become the disorganized. So we have to understand the whole society status and whole society scenario, and then the natural sciences. Because whatever environment around you, so you have also understand that natural surroundings and things. And now I will talk about the because in social work, various psychological as well as integrated theories and the radial apply to the casework practice. Because in casework practice, many theories applies, like behavioral modification theory, because you can change the people by using this theory. Because any person have the different kind of behavior, any unorganized people have a different kind of behavior. So you have to change that behavior by using the behavior modification theory. It processes the assumptions about the operant behavior and the practice focused on the observable will behavior that can be risk the explicated. And another one is the many theories apply in a social casework, like we can apply the learning theory, we can apply the adult theory, how adult are learning, how any children are learning, socialization process, and we have to also understand the small family, big family problems, cognitive theory, general system of the theory, ecological theory, feminist theory, which is discriminating between the male and female person, and biological theory. This kind of theories we have to understand when we are working as a social worker. And although social work borrows the psychological, sociological, and from the biological sciences, the profession itself order, arrange, adopt, and determines the emphasis it will make this contribution. Next one is the any social worker should have the knowledge of various services of the community, is the basic of the practice of the social casework. The function and the purposes of any agency and referral procedure, the increasingly the legislative process, all provided essential under pinning the casework process. Means ki everywhere social work have to adopt this kind of thing. And dear student, today I will talk about you the how to work with individual, and what are the its meaning, and what are the values of the any social worker, and how social worker can solve the problem of the people by adopting various theories and method. And thank you for listening me. Thank you very much.